Yo, what up, guys? It's your boy DJ J Steezy
and DJ Jedi.
And today's special guest on Triple Scoop ENT, we got Paz El Pana.
Yeah.
What up, man?
How's it going?
What's going on, man? How you been, Derek? First of all,
Man, just he looks alright. That's what's up.
Now, for those of you that don't know who you are on our platform, just let them know who you are right quick. You know, give a quick little intro.
So I'm Paz El Pana. That's PAZ space EL space PNA.
Yeah.
PANA. Yeah.
Yeah, because we like space.
Yeah. So I'm from Raleigh, California. I was born here and raised.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I make music.
You make music.
Music.
Very, very, very weird music, I guess you want to say.
So,
or make art.
How long you been rapping now, bro?
I want to say around 2014. I was like here and there,
right.
you know, like recording songs here and there with homies and whatnot. And for a while, kind of like drifted away and started making like these EDM sounds.
Oh, dope.
Oh, really?
But my previous laptop fucked up completely, so I kind of like halted.
Right.
And I want to say it didn't really pick up until like 3 years ago. I want to say like 3, 4, sort of. That's when it like I was like, okay, like recorded some stuff and got involved with the whole scene here.
So the EDM came after the rapping, or
Nah, that was like before.
Oh, okay.
Like, that was like it was like sort of like 2014, like like making some songs here and there.
Okay.
And but like around shortly after that, it was like I focused on just trying to make beats, and after laptop getting ruined, I just kind of like I don't know, did my own thing.
Yeah.
So what influenced you into rapping?
The laptop.
The laptop, right?
Nah, I feel like I've been influenced into all that since like young age.
Mm-hmm.
Like my parents would my parents listen a lot to like reggaeton.
Okay.
Like that, they're like part Puerto Rican.
Okay.
So are you? Because I know, because it's like Paz El Pana. So are you full Puerto Rican? You have.
So I'm like 75%. I would say like my father is.
We got a Boricua in the building, dog.
Hey, PR.
But I'm still like I want to say like 25% still Mexican.
There you go.
So.
Right.
You're good.
Oh shit! It's a damn pa la raza.
Now, when you started rapping, was it a solo thing, or was it with a group, or I mean?
It was more with like my homies, especially. I'm pretty sure you guys know Slim Sage.
Yeah, shout out.
Shout out to Slim Sage.
Shout out to Slim Sage, bro. Like and Enzo, mine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was more with like them, like. If anything, Slim Sage was kind of like the dude who was like more.
So it's like the whole vibe. You just felt it.
So,
it made sense.
Yeah, and then like I've been like I don't know, like I've always wanted to really create music. I just kind of had to like find my style because I didn't really want to like I don't know
emulate anything.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to like figure out something weird and distinctive that it's just. It's just random. Like you hear it and you're like, "The fuck is this?"
But not like a bad way.
Yeah, like it's like most of the time in all the music that I make, 90% of the time I have no idea what the fuck's going on. But it's been created.
Well, me listening, bro. Like, I don't know your flow. I love your flow in Spanish, there.
Yeah,
that was something different because it was a trip.
Like, yo, like you're Spanish, and I'm like. I feel that people who really, really speak Spanish, they hear it and they're like, and then they're like, dude, your English is amazing. I'm like, so, but yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, because I don't know, man. Because it's like okay, like you say, you grew up with reggaeton in your house. So if you grew up with reggaeton in your house, I'm telling you, you're taking it back to like the early mid 2000s.
Yeah, like there was like
the
was,
Tego Calderones and
yeah, like I mean there was heavy reggaeton on my pad, like salsa. Also like there was like Luis Gabriel. Is that his name? Gabriel.
Yeah.
That guy, and
right.
Vicente. But then there was also like influence of hip hop. Like my father used to live in Jersey for a while, so he picked up on like a lot of hip hop stuff.
A lot of East Coast style.
Yeah, so like that was also heard on my pad, and it was just a mixture of a lot of things,
Right.
So I guess all that, like, and then I can say a little bit on the EDM too, like all that throughout the years, it just has like influence, into like creating what.
Yeah, because listening to your early stuff, it does like what genre or what would you put this on? Like even a style is
like you were trying to find the right avenue to go.
No, like I couldn't tell. It's just like this guy just wants to experiment.
Yeah, like and I guess there was also like the influence in the valley locally as like the influence of everyone else. So it kind of like there's like an influence of also rock here. So
big time.
I was going to a lot of rock shows, like seeing bands like SPAC, for example, was kids are insane. So like bands like that they would just like go all out. It like somehow also motivated me. That I was like, fuck, I mean, other bands, like they would just go to a lot of band shows.
Yeah, ever think about like joining a rock group or?
I thought on it, but nah. I was like, nah.
Now, do you play any instruments?
Like, do I play instruments? I used to play a saxophone like in 7th grade. I don't know that counts. And a trumpet. But
alright.
No, like at this point, no. Like I guess the only instrument is my MPD, a Kai controller.
Yeah.
So.
And like you said, you growing up, with all these different sounds from salsa to Mexican music to and I don't know, it's like your style is distinctive. It's like it's very, very different. For example, when you did the visual to that song that you filmed out at Bombay Beach.
Oh, that was dope.
That was dope, man. And then you.
Like,
yeah,
I'm trying to remember that clip.
And you reference
like 2 other people in it.
I think so. I think you reference Hector Lavoe in that one of your lines, and I was like, oh damn, that's just dope.
The Palante one.
Yeah,
that one. Yeah. Nah, that wasn't in Bombay Beach. That was in Tucson. That was
really?
Yeah. So I got invited to perform at this show in Tucson. At first, I didn't realize how far Tucson was, so I was like, okay, like,
over there in an hour.
It was kind of like a solo trip, so I was like, okay, so I'm gonna go out here, and I was invited by this dude named 4D extraterrestrial. I don't know, like I forget, but he goes by. It's weird. Oh, wow. But he's the homie. He's a bro.
There's no vowels.
He's the one who created the visuals and everything for that video.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, yo, you should come out to this show in Tucson and like perform out here. And like it's gonna be sick. So I was like, alright, let's fucking do this. And as I started driving, I was like, fuck. So like I stopped at Dispo. From there I was like, okay, let's go smoke on the way. I was like, I can't cross this shit. I can't say that. Well, I was
that's fine. You're fine.
Yeah. But I was like going over there, and I was like, okay, like we're about to make this drive. An hour or two in, I'm like, dude, this shit is like,
far.
Like I saw it. It was like 4 hours and 30 minutes. I was like, that's nothing. But it's really something because like that drive, there's nothing.
It's all desert, man.
Yeah, it's all desert.
I felt like I was going crazy. So I pulled up and ended up linking with that dude and his whole crew, and we ended up performing. We did the show. It was a fucking crazy night. That's all to say. Like,
fucking
stayed the night out in some desert at an Airbnb. I was, dude. Like, shit insane. I'm over here, like, sipping with tuna, a little bit of cactus. So I'm just like, I don't even know what's going on. But stayed the night, kicked it. Next day, homie's like, hey, do you want to make a visual for this? And at that time, that's I had released it on SoundCloud, like, as just like, just something.
Right.
But from there, this guy named Tamaskin heard it, and he was in the whole, because they were doing a tour. They were doing a tour from, like, I think it was like from like LA or something, all the way through to like Tucson.
Yeah.
And that was like their last stop. So the dude was like, hey, you know, I could, like, you know, do a music video for you. Like,
That's
do this. And I was like, all right, let's do it. We're in the desert in Tucson.
Right.
Like, it's a one-time experience. And we did it. And this dude, Tamaskin, he was there and he heard it. And he's a dude who was dancing in the video. And he was like, yo, let me get on. So we did it. And then we ended up re-releasing the song on Spotify and, like, everything else. So it was just like...
Just took off.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope. So, how many albums have you dropped?
So I have 2 so far. I dropped one in March 15, 2019. That was like the first solo project of mine. It was Conscious Ignorant. And then just like a week ago or 2, I think I dropped Break Open Your Head, which is like this whole new project. That was like basically like just like a whole weird vibe. Like I started it like probably a year ago, but I didn't know what it was going to like come out to. So I didn't really have the idea. It's just right there. It just sort of started building up.
I think that's what's cool. It's like you didn't rush any music out. You just like...
Nah, I feel like I learned that with my first project because I sort of was like in a way where I was like, oh, I just want to put it out there.
Yeah.
You know? And this time for this one, it was kind of more like I want to sit on it for a second. Like I just want to see like
if it still like hits the same.
if it's really gonna be something that like people are gonna like listen to and say like, oh shit. Like, and that's what happened. Like,
definitely.
I was just like, I sort of had a little doubt. I was like, man, this is weird. Like, this is, that's what like, like, I don't know. I lost track right now. What's I spoke his way.
Oh man.
We saw you had a couple collabs. Anyone you want to shout out from the album right now?
So, Poeted Child from Trash Mob. He's on the song Psychological. Also, shout out to Enzo Mine because he produced some of those songs. He also produced that song. And shout out to Tony Slums.
Hey,
Tony Slums, yeah.
You still gotta come on the show, bro.
He produced the song and he mixed, mastered. And then shout out to this beautiful girl named Downer because she did vocals on it. Still she did 2 songs on there, and it was pretty dope. You know?
Yeah.
So if it wasn't for them, like they wouldn't, like this project wouldn't have like came together. You know. And on the side note, shout out to Sun Sage, everybody else, like Emilio and D-Lock Carnival.
Hey.
Shout out to everybody there. Camisita Loca. Man, that's a whole list of people.
Dude.
That I'm actually like sitting down.
How long you guys all been together, or how long have you been part of the group?
Probably like
a couple years, huh?
No, like I want to say like 2.
Like 2 years?
Yeah, like yeah.
Do you have like a favorite either show or memory performing so far? Anything that you can share that's legal? Like
well, I've had a couple of shows that have been pretty dope. Like show that I've thrown or like performed. They're like
let's do perform.
Okay, so performed
that you remember. We've all been there.
Like I want to say this one show that I had. actually, I went the show that happened at the Art Walk in Calexico.
Okay.
That was a crazy show because that was one of the shows that Slim the Sage, Enzo Mine, we were all on stage performing for that one, and it was crazy because it was like we're performing, but there's like I think that art walk was one of the most packed art walks, and there was like 400 people. I want to say they were just like there's like people just walking around. Right. There's like
but that's good.
A good 100 like just looking at the stage and just saying like the fuck is going on up there, like what is guys? Then we were up there and we started performing, and that shit was pretty dope. You know, like just seeing like all that people, like I was just like, damn, like this is crazy. Like this is just one show, like because like previous shows it was just like small sort of shows, like and that one was kind of just like, oh, there's a lot of people here, you know. So, and we did that set, and I believe Mi Cabecita Loca and Slums also like sort of joined in that set.
That's dope.
So yeah, we had done a song with, well, we kind of just hyped up a song of theirs, and it was just like, it was a pretty dope response. So I was like, oh, you know, like, and shortly after we had another show, I believe in San Diego. We had a show, or I think I had a show. I don't know. I know that we had to go to San Diego like right after because there was a show that we were gonna go on. So it was like, oh shit. So yeah, it was crazy. It was a dope show. But there's been like a lot of them.
How's it feeling performing outside of like the Valley?
Pretty dope.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. Yeah, like I've done a couple. I've done La Mesa, La Mesa and Mex, Tucson, and San Diego.
It's just a different vibe, huh?
Yeah, cause it's just like it's just trippy, like how do I put it? Like how some people like they react to the music. Like I feel like out there it's just like, oh shit, you know, like who is this random dude, you know, like, and same thing here, you know, but
it's like appreciated in a different way.
Yeah, like, and just doing a show like sometimes out of the Valley, it's just a whole different vibe. Because it's like, damn, we're traveling, we're about to perform, like we don't really know anybody out here, so it's
do you get nervous?
Every time.
Every time? Oh shit! Wow.
Yeah, like it's just one of those things. Like I guess you just learn, like with like I guess doing multiple shows too. It's just that nervousness is just never gonna go away. Like every time you go out, like it's just like fuck, like we're about to go out here, about to do this, and like it's just like you can either like let that totally consume you, or like learn to channel that and to somehow just go for it, you know. Because like I mean, if you fuck up, I mean, as long as you can literally pick yourself off of it right after, then, like,
people might not even notice.
Like, I've done a lot of shows like that.
Hey, no.
Like it has happened where I've done a show and I forget a verse, and it just happens in the moment because it's just fuck, and I'm sorry, and I'm just like, oh man, like so
you can cuss, that's fine.
Yeah, so as that happens, I'm like, I have to bust a freestyle, and like most of the time it's like, well, people don't know, like you've never even heard the song, so how do you know,
right?
But I say like 90% of the time I do my best to like keep on point with it, yeah. And one of the things is like I guess I learned is to always, I'm just that kind of person, is to, when performing, is like you shouldn't use vocals, you know,
in the back,
like, yeah. Like,
that way,
I guess if you want to know hook or your ad-libs, but I don't know, unless you're doing like a stadium and like people can't really hear you, then I guess it counts. But it's just it's sort of made it like pushed me more to learn my shit.
Yeah.
Because it was like, oh, like simply, I've performed with people who like, you know, they have their vocals
The backing track,
and it's like, dude, like.
Yeah.
Like, why would I want to even...
Yeah, we feel you on that one. Yeah, we feel you on that one,
We'd
man.
rather, like, it's, you know, like, want to see, like...
It's like you don't want to go see a band perform with the CD in the background, kind of.
Exactly. You know, so it's the same thing. Like,
Yeah, I got you.
Like,
now, when you're up there performing, like, maybe some of your favorite, deepest songs, like, where does that all come from? Like, do you hear the beat first, or you write, and then choose a beat, and then...
I sort of just let the beat talk to me, if like that makes sense. Because sometimes there is times that I have like content written, and then I'll hear a beat, and I'm like, this goes with it, and like I'll find a way to fuck around with it for a while.
Right.
But there is times when it's like, you know, like I like it better when the beat really talks to me and I haven't wrote anything. So then it just kind of like. You know, like it's trying to have a conversation with me, so it's like, okay, let me.
That's deep.
Talk.
I've never heard anyone describe it that way. Damn.
All right.
Yeah,
And how does that transcend? Like when you're on stage, do you not think about it at the time? Like you're like, man, I'm like, you know, getting my shit across to people, or is it like afterwards? You're like, oh shit.
I mean, in the moment, like I guess I don't think on it, although. There is times that I have thought on it because I've done also shows where like I can't cuss or like I can't do something. So like as I'm or like I can't say certain stuff, you know, because they'd be like, "What the fuck is this one talking about?" Like, and it's like like I have to in the moment as I'm presenting it. It's like I have to somehow modify this so
like
it's
censor
suitable for the setting, you know. And but like most of the time I don't really think on it when I'm performing, I guess, until like I know it's a song that like okay, like this is something that it's a little more personal or like I can get in trouble for it or something. So that's when like I'm like, all right, like do I feel comfortable doing this? And it's like fuck it, like
yeah.
This already. And like yeah.
The reason I ask is because like you have so many different backgrounds. When you said musician, EDM, is it like a guitarist? Like when they go into a riff, like they really don't know what they're saying or playing. It just comes out and flows. But I guess the difference is you would have to know the lyrics though. It's just maybe different the way you enunciate it. Or does that ever happen? Like maybe you're a little too fucked up or high, or do you just feel like it just, I don't know, like me DJing, like sometimes I can't get drunk, like as much as I drink because you're just so into it.
Okay, I get what you mean. No, I can't get drunk like that. I mean, I can, but it's like I sort of limit myself.
That's good.
I'm like, I don't want to overdo it, and then like either I forget my words or I slur my words or like it just, you know, like I sort of just wait till after.
Right.
You know, I'll be like, you know, like, I mean, a little bit ain't gonna hurt, but like, I'd rather do that all after because then it's like, you know, it's like, how do I put it? It's like I'd rather put in the work first,
right,
and like do all that because then like when performing and being out there is like one of those things I learned. It's like it's a stage presence. So like you're to people who've never heard you, like and they're there and they're listening and they're watching you perform. You know, it's like to them is like a sort of a first impression to them, or like you know, like, and it sort of gets them like, oh shit, like this dude performs pretty dope, or like. And I just, you know, I want to come back and see them or something, and it's like, you know, I learned to sort of like moderate myself when it comes to that, like, and then after it's like, okay, just enjoy, network with people, like, but
gotcha.
Yeah, I guess one of those advices like never to overdo it.
What's a bigger high, performing or like in the studio?
It's just different. It's different eyes. It's like performing. okay, like studio, like it's dope because you're creating something, and it's like, man, like you're just like a little mad scientist,
Right.
like you're going like to see like I'm gonna make this little monster and see if like this might catch the attention of these people, or like this will make people go like, what the it's like how Bard Kendrick says, it's like, you know, even atheists hear my shit and they say my God, you know, stuff like that. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's yeah.
That was dope.
Sorry, drift on me.
So you mentioned Kendrick. What are a couple other of your like influences?
So a lot of influence I could say was TDE. So everybody in that like young age. Shout out to my homies. Like you know, since like high school when they were coming around. We're like, how's these guys like? A lot of other influence would have to be like these artists. Beast Coast. I don't know if you guys ever heard of them. Like Joey Badass.
Oh, Joey Badass?
Yeah. So like the Flatbush Zombies, Underachievers, Pro Era. Like that was a big influence as well. And a lot of like Tego Calderon.
There you go.
Calle 13, Presidente, Tego. Like it's just like a bunch of like influence. Yeah, like
seems like you repeated Dago quite a few times, man. I think.
Yeah, Dago.
He's a big one, huh?
Dago is a big one. As a matter of fact, I have a cousin who makes music, and he's getting on a song with Tego Calderon.
Oh shit!
His name is Jungle.
I will not be able to say
Jungle.
that in a million years.
Jungle.
Yeah, and
What's
Jungle?
That sounds funny.
Ya tú sabes.
Yeah, he's gotten on a feature with them and a feature with other big artists. He's a little bit more up there. You know?
Right.
So I was like, oh shit.
So it runs in the family.
You got family in Puerto Rico or what?
Yeah, I got a lot of family in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Puerto Rico, Mexico, and I don't know where else.
I don't know where else.
Around the globe.
America.
Right. So, speaking of Dago, so you trying to get a feature from Dago or what?
I don't think he'd deny it.
I mean, I don't know. Like, it'd be dope. It'd be dope if I ever did run into him, because it would just be like, oh shit. Like, apparently one time I was in Puerto Rico and I met, like, I think it was like his nephew, third nephew or something. He tried to tell me. He's like, yeah, I think it was Calderon's third nephew. His last name was Calderon, so I was like, I don't know if I should believe you, but
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, it'd be cool, you know, like it is thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Now going back to the album, I know you took your time on it. Anything that influenced it?
Man, a lot. But like, there was like a lot of influence into that. I guess one thing was the quarantine shit.
That's what I was gonna ask. Is that pandemic, bro?
Like, so that itself, like it's sort of like, you know, like, I guess to put everyone in position with, like, you know, quarantine, and it's like, all right, it's something new, and it's like we're now like in our houses and we're dealing with, like, you know, like, one, I guess myself, I was so used to going out and like doing a lot of shit like consistently. So staying at home, it was like, okay, now it's like sort of, but it was like now, like, okay, like I'm sort of now gonna, like, I'm dealing more with like my shit now. Like, I'm dealing with like internal stuff, dealing with like shit like goes on in, like, you know, one's home, and like it's just like a bunch of things and shit that was going on in the news, like it's just all out, you know, like, and it was crazy because during also that time, well, not really an influence, but during that time, like we had also gone out to the protests on LA, San Diego, and when it was going pretty crazy in San Bernardino. And it was just like, oh shit, like, you know, it's like, so all this shit is happening outside, but now there's like all this shit happening inside our houses. That like I guess is sort of brought, like, it's like bringing to light, like, I guess the darkness within us, like things that like are very dark to us that we deal with. And like I guess that was like the theme to this project, that I was like, you know what, like during the quarantine I was like, you know what, I want to make some fucking weird spooky shit for like Halloween. So I was like, how do we, but like I was like, how do I also talk about like some stuff, like in that album I bring up like subjects like, you know, depression, or like subjects like other things, or like some people are into very weird dark shit. So it's like I brought all that into this one thing, and like it was like, okay, like break open your head. Like it inspired me, especially after reading this one book that's called Breaking Open the Head by David Pinchbeck. And it was like this whole story about this dude who, like, by the way, the whole term is like basically like opening your mind, you know. So it's like you're like opening your mind, but in like a more aggressive term, you know.
Okay.
It's like this dude. I don't know if I talk about these things on this podcast.
Go ahead, man.
Like yeah, like this dude, like, you know, he did these shamanic like ceremonies where he consumed plants that put him in different mind states.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, it's nothing out of the norm, because I mean, you can think about,
so like,
you know,
the dude really breaks down his whole journey, and like how his life, like how he started dealing with just so much, and like how not a lot of people were like understanding like what was going on, so he was like expressing it, you know. And then like it's sort of that, reading that book, it like inspired for this project, and I was like, okay, like how do I sort of like put something that relates somehow like that like how this dude explains his story, like how can I explain the story some way like that, but like my own version, in which that, you know, it has you like, you know, like if somebody was like fucking lit and like they hear it, it make them reflect, you know. Don't make you sit there and be like, shit, man, I'm dealing with some shit. Like,
That's true, man, because
yeah,
like when you're high, bro, it's like it puts you in a concentration mode, you know, where you can concentrate and you focus on a certain thing.
not me, I get the munchies.
He said, "I get the munchies." But see, so I've written lyrics back in the day when I was high, bro, and it's just like, and I look back and I was like, oh shit, I wrote that shit, you know. And it's just like, it's a trip.
Did you wake up the next day and it was really Dr. Seuss, Cat in the Hat, like some bullshit? Like, I didn't fucking write this.
I went to the park. It was dark. I went to the park. You know, but no, man, it's just like, it's actually like, especially like you said, during the quarantine and, you know, this pandemic, it's like, what else is there to do but sit there and pick your own brain?
Yeah, and that's kind of like the whole thing. So like it was like since I hadn't really like thought about all those things because I was doing everything else outside, that now it's like I'm, you know, in one place where it's like, okay, now like there's this whole other shit, and it's like, you know, like it's like
Gotcha.
yeah. And shortly before that, I had released this little EP called 2 Days. That was just more like some shit that like I'm just gonna dance.
Now I got a question on you, because you sound very intelligent. Would you ever write like a book?
I've thought on that. I've thought about writing a book. Like I just wouldn't know how to begin it. I think that's my issue sometimes when I'm writing things. It's like I don't know how to begin it. Like I know how to carry on everything.
Yeah.
It's just
Where to start?
how do I start this?
Right.
You know, like, and sometimes Like, I mean, I believe I would.
Mm.
You know, like if I really, like at one point, I think that's what I would do. You know, but like down the road to kind of like give, I don't know what I would write books about, but I know I have a lot of shit in mind that I've thought about.
Right. Yeah, man. It's just like I said, this pandemic, man. It's opened a lot of, how can I say? It's opened a lot of doors for people that, you know, it's brought a lot of talent in people that people didn't realize
Actually,
they had.
actually, like you see, like the real, like the hustlers, the real ones survive because they know how to make it. Like we can't go perform anywhere, but I'm gonna drop music like every so often,
Right.
or I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna have some like jump on some features or just do something
And I ain't
different.
gonna lie to you, man. I was like, I wonder what happened to Paz, bro, because it's been quiet.
Damn, talking about you like you fucking washed up and shit. I was fucked
You know, it's just 'cause, you know, because like you hadn't seen any music or nothing like.
Yeah,
this
it
like,
was just kind of like since pandemic was happening, I was like, all right, I'm gonna invest into getting like my own stuff, my own equipment. So like it took time to get it all together. And it just sucks because I just had my laptop stolen like 2 days ago, and I was like, fuck.
Shit.
I was supposed to be some music video today that I was like working on. And I was like, I still have the videos on my phone, so it's.
Oh, okay, that's good.
You know, shout out to Adobe Creative. But yeah, they had it stolen from my whip. Like I left my whip open. It was too late. I was like, I'm tired. Woke up the next day and I was like, fuck. Yeah, so like, but it's interesting because I guess I was trying to like make something from it where it was like, man, like, you know, like I guess these doors and like opportunities have been opening up like that. I'm like, oh shit, like I'm going all for it, but then like things like this happen, and I guess it was like one of those laws, and I guess universal laws that like it teaches me. It's like, how bad do you want this? Like even if shit happens, like are you gonna back out and like fuck, like you know you don't have like something that you used to create with, so like is that you're gonna allow that to like slow you down, or like are you gonna somehow let that push you to like continue and keep going, and like, you know, I guess in my case, like look at this like a couple years back and be like, yeah, this shit was a joke, you know. Yeah. I guess I try to look at life
very optimistic.
Like
that.
Yeah, because it's like, I guess I'm just so used to seeing a lot of people being down all the time,
right?
And like I myself have been in those positions where I felt very down to the point where I'm like I don't know what to do. Like I don't know like how to get myself out of these situations, or like how to proceed, you know. But I guess like at the end of the day, it's sort of like having some sort of faith in yourself that like, hey, you know what, like it's just another day, you know, and some crazy shit's gonna happen, you know, but it's like you gotta like push through and not let it like bring you down, you know. It's like you can somehow make like you can somehow something that an artist, some dude named Box Cutter, I don't want to say his name wrong, but it always stuck in my mind because it was like, you know, it's like turning something negative into something positive. So it's like you can either be very negative about everything that's going on in life, or somehow see it that it can be like a key to like making something positive out of it.
Or finding the positive in that negative, in that negative ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel you.
That's cool. We're deep.
Yeah, man.
I'm not even high,
Right?
but I felt it.
Yeah, man. How many songs are on this album?
I think 7.
You have a favorite? Nah, they're all different, right?
Like, I would say one of my all-time favorite. I have like 2 all-time favorites. It's every song on it is actually good, you know. But I really liked Exhale. This one song I did named Exhale because that shit was just weird. Like, you know, like
everything goes back to weird.
I was creating that with Enzo, and my girl happened to be there, and another homie, and we were making this song, and I decided to just I decided to fuck with my voice, but no autotune or nothing. It was just like me personally. I was like, man, like I'm just gonna do this weird voice, and like when we added that, it was just like on my end, I was like, man, this shit's hard, and then everybody's like, what the fuck is this, dude? Like, and then Enzo sort of did something that it just made it sound like this shit is hard, but still, like when we were like, what the fuck is this, dude? And when when the project released, like a lot of people give me good feedback on each song, like,
Right.
but when I got the feedback on that one song, it was like, yeah, like, you know, like that shit is like one of my favorites. I'm like, this shit's weird. Like, this is one of your favorites, dude. Like, yeah, and like it was an interesting, it's indeed an interesting project. Like, I had some people tell me like, man, that shit is like a story and everything, and I'm just like, I didn't even think of that, but yeah, it's a story, dude. Like, and some people were like, man, like this one song, Desde Que Te Conocí, like, was like, man, this song is beautiful. I was like, yeah, thank you, dude. Like, you know, and like it was just like each song, like the feedback on it was like, oh, like I didn't really expect that, you know, because it was something very different, even from Conscious Ignorant. As for like the 2 days EP and like the singles that I had released previously, it was just like, okay, like now we're gonna like, you know, turn the whole page. I don't know, tear it out.
Got you.
Yeah,
Got you.
You know, and that's just like one of those projects. I still have like, none of my labs are song. I have one.
You have one project.
I have one more project that I'm aiming for either towards the end of the year or like a little bit after. I'm not sure. And then I still have like some surprise shit thing that, but it's with like more with like a collab kind of thing. But that is still being like in its works and everything. So yeah. At the moment. And I mean that's not. I mean that's for the time being. So it's not. You know, it's still a long way to go and so much more shit to come, you know.
Right.
So,
anyone you would want to work with? Or right now it's just like up in the air?
Besides Tego?
No, come on, man. His cousin.
Yeah, definitely my cousin. Like, you know. Like, but if I have to be straightforward, I would say like TDE, the Dreamville, the freaking Beast Coast, and like a bunch of other artists. One of them being Residente from Calle 13. Like, it would just be mind blowing to even.
You got more music coming out like that?
I do.
No.
So like, yeah, that's the thing. Like, so like this project, like, you know, it's like everything after it's just gonna be different. You know, like I'll come back and touch up on certain, I guess, vibe. Like, you know, like, oh, like if somebody wants like some, I don't know, some dark shit. If somebody wants some like conscious stuff, like, you know, like it still happen. It's just at the moment, like after this, it's just kind of like it switches up, you know. So it's like, I guess like my thing is like not to have the same thing as the last one. So it makes it distinctive. It's like if somebody wants something like Conscious Ignorant, it's like, well, go listen to Conscious Ignorant, dude. Like, yeah, there's somebody wants something like Break Open Your Head. It's like, well, listen to that, you know, because it's like not like everything that I make after, like I'm just creating and I'm just like putting shit together, and you know, it's like it's a very dysfunctional noise kind of thing, and that's like kind of my whole thing. You know, it's something that is not supposed to be like, you know, like you hear it and you're like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, why does this dude switch up like that? But it's like, but that's the whole point. Like, you know, why remain with the same theme? You know, like I just like it's
like a reinvent of yourself.
Yeah, you know, and like I don't even know like if like 5 years from now I make some shit that is like, oh my god, like, you know. But it's just like it's all just taking its time and developing, because it's like it's still all a learning process. Like I'm still learning, and like it's just
Because I'm listening to your music, right, and then it's like I hear you in Spanish, and it's like the flow is so sick. And his Spanish flow is so sick. You know what I mean? So, and it's just like, damn, I can straight just hear him on a fucking reggaeton track. Yeah. And have you ever thought of doing like a reggaeton style track?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it in the works or?
I mean, I know I can because it's like I've experimented.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I know I can. It's just, I mean, like I do have like some songs, but it's like to have included it and break open your head would have not made any sense, you know?
Right.
Like I was not gonna throw you like reggaeton all of a sudden.
Right, just throw you a curveball and like.
You know, like it was like the whole project was already a whole curveball, so like I'm not gonna like throw you this, like, you know. So it was like, nah, like I'll hold off on that when I know like the time's right, and there's still more to create. So like,
Right.
you know, like I still have like these other projects and a bunch of other stuff in mind, like that. I guess I'm like doing my best to lay out for like the year to come and like even further ahead.
Now, for the viewers watching, where can they find your music at?
So everything.
He said everything.
Well, I mean, as far as I know, I believe everything. So like all my stuff's on SoundCloud. So like SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Tidal.
And it's all Paz El Pana?
Bandcamp. Yeah, it's all Paz El Pana. So,
Dope, man.
yeah, it's like. Yeah.
You working on any merch, man?
Yeah, I am.
Leave it at that.
I actually am though. Like I do have some stuff and some ideas that I just have to like basically just get it out, you know. Like, but at the moment it's just kind of like having it all sort of designed, like, because like I'm still like, I guess, creating even in that and like trying to figure out like the design and like how I really want like my brand to present itself.
Got it.
You know, because like I guess it's one of those things that I know Nipsey also said something like that, but it was like, you know, it's like it's how you present your brand to people, you know, and it's like I just want to get it right before I really put it out there.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I know you take your time on everything, dude. It's,
yeah, like
I think it's best that way too, because
because it's one of those things that I learned. Is like it's better to have patience rather than like rushing it.
Right.
You know? It's like obviously there is times where it's like there's a deadline or something, but it's like for the most part it's like, you know, it's like having patience with it, because if you rush something, it's not really gonna like, you know.
There's no deadline with this damn pandemic. Damn, man. Well, Paz, man, appreciate you coming to the show, bro. You know, like I said, definitely, man. You're welcome back anytime, man. You want to promote some more stuff? Definitely, man.
Or even do a performance?
Yeah, come back and do a performance on the show. Yeah, man. We'll make it happen. Yeah, I mean, at least do a performance somewhere, because you can't perform anywhere right now.
We'll do a virtual.
Yeah, a virtual performance or something.
Well, I think people are performing in San Diego already and like other places.
Yeah, we're stuck in the you can't go nowhere and do nothing. It's that valley mentality, valley.
Yeah, man. You know.
Everyone's got cooties. And
But yeah, but man. All right, Paz, man. Thanks for coming to the show, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
And don't forget to follow him.
Yeah. Paz El Pana.
El Pana.
On everything.
On everything.